Death Magnetics in the stores tomorrow, and how does it feel?
It feels really good. There's a good vibe within, and I think that good vibe is getting out there because there's a lot of excitement about the record. A lot of people talking about it, and I think there's a lot of people that want it to be good, and I'm glad that it is. 2 years writing, it all comes down to this day, and it's exciting, we're giving birth somewhat.
I've read a lot of the reviews on that's online already, and a lot of them are very positive. But I saw the Washington Post, they call the album a midlife crisis. What do you think about when you hear stuff like that?
I don't know, whatever. If that's what they think, okay. I think the older we get, the less we worry about maybe public perception or what people think of you. There's always going to be people that are going to take shots. And that's fine. We're a big target, and have been for a long time. But I think our honesty is a pretty good shield, and we blame it on honesty. This is us. This is who it is.
Death Magnetic,
Yeah.
10 songs. We'll start with the first one. That was Just Your Life. What can you tell us about that?
Most of the albums have some intro tape and, a mood that's creating, and then all of a sudden, bam, brrr, the riff happens. That's what we wanted, and that's what we got on That Was Just Your Life. Creepy intro, and, we're thinking of live, how this incorporates with live, because, Metallica and live, they go together.
And then you go over to the end of the line.
End of the line. I'm trying to remember these songs still. We just wrote them. It's been 2 years, but again, that's another one of those songs that has lots of different feels to it, but highlighted with the bass.
Broken Beat and Scarred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the one we argued a bit about around the title. I just felt that title was too long. Lars was very adamant about that title. So now it's BBS. So it's shortened.
Then the fourth song, The Day That Never Comes, it was the first single of your record.
Yeah, The Day That Never Comes was, that was one of about 3 ballads we were working on. Well, I call it a ballad, but maybe the first few minutes is, and the rest is all hell breaks loose. Starting off, with ballady, and then, like one, bring it home, and then you've got 5 minutes of insanity. That song is a lot of fun to play.
Then we're halfway through with All Nightmare Long, which I think is one of my favorites. What can you tell us about this one?
It wasn't my favorite. It was so pieced together. The tempos are a little, whoa, hey, ho, 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 and trying to smooth those out into a song. I was really worried about that, but then the more I listened to it, it's like, it's okay. It's okay.
And then we have come to Cyanide.
I really enjoy playing that song live. I think that's going to be one of the songs that stays in the live set for a long time.
And then as number 7, you have a third version of The Unforgiven.
Yeah. Unforgiven 3. That was the one that I had to fight to get on the record. People were not as into it as me, maybe. Maybe it's still part of my trilogy or my journey in life, and lyrically, I think it makes sense to me. I think it's very strong, very strong. I think it's, in my opinion, it's the best of the Unforgivens.
And then we have the Judas Kiss.
Just the word Judas, something, it sang really cool, and just started working around that word, and the Judas Kiss was what we came up with.
And then for first time in a long time, you have a instrumental, Suicide and Redemption.
Right. Yeah, the lyrics were tough for that one. Worked a lot on that.
And then you end it all kind of like on Master of Puppets and Justice for All with comparison to Damage Inc. and Dire Sea. It's a really fast song, and My Apocalypse.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel it's always pretty good to end with a bang, you know, and especially the one that has there's a real old school riff in there, in the middle. It's like that's 1983 right there, you know. It was a Kirk riff, and it's like, dude, you're still in Exodus. This is an Exodus riff right here. So really cool, and the aggression, the speed. It just felt when we were playing it, it felt like putting on some old boots. You know, felt good.
So how would you sum up Death Magnetic?
Well, I think it's diverse. It's again what I wanted to get back to. Song or you know, running order wise, like Ride the Lightning, like Master of Puppets, you know, not 20 songs. Let's get it down to, you know, a good meal size where you can fit everything on the plate. And let's have flavors, different flavors, you know, instrumental, ballad, fast, long, short, all of those in one record. And I think we've got as close as possible within the 4 different band members' opinions on what should be.